afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jill Troutman, your host of Building Kids' Lives. Today, I have a very, very special guest with me. And, the pandemic is here, has been in full swing for over a year. And one of the people who is so important to the children's home is our friends over at Henry Schein. And last year, we were there. Before the pandemic, it was just getting started, and we were meeting with them to talk to them about something that they do each and every year that is so special for our kids and our families. And they were in full swing, and they were working round the clock to meet the needs and distribute healthcare products and services. And today, I'm so excited to welcome Bill Hill. Hi, Bill.
Hey, how you doing, Jim?
Good. How are you? He's
Doing
the
well.
director. He's the director of operations for the Denver plant. And Henry Schein isn't just in Denver, is it?
No, it's not, ma'am. We actually have, it's a worldwide organization. We have 19,000 what we call Team Schein members, across the world. If you look at us domestically, we actually have 5 core DCs in the U.S. That's the Denver, Pennsylvania facility, Jacksonville, Florida, Indianapolis, Indiana, Grapevine, Texas, and Reno, Nevada. And then if you look at the rest of North America, we actually have a specialty DC in Bastion, Virginia, and then 3 Canadian DCs, Niagara on the Lake, Calgary, and Vancouver. So, pretty large organization.
Wow. And, your focus has been on the healthcare and dental products. And, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about Henry Schein and what you do each and every day? Because we say dental products, they're thinking dental floss. What is it really that you do there?
Yeah. So you know what? We're the #1 supplier to the practitioner's office. So if you think about what you get at your dentist or doctor's office or your specialty office, it's going to typically come from a Henry Schein distribution center. So to kind of put that in perspective, you mentioned dental floss. We carry close to 50,000 different items just in the Northeast distribution center. So you mentioned floss, crowns, lidocaine, Band-Aids, you name it, we carry it, and we take a lot of pride in that as well.
Learning about businesses that you just drive by, you see a name on there, you have no idea what somebody really does in one of those distribution centers anymore. And some of them are so vast, and yours was so big when I got up there. And, when we rolled in and we met with you and your team, wow. You don't think about all of that. We don't think about the movability and the distribution of, gee, how does the doctor get the crown? Okay, we all call Amazon to get everything right now. But, thinking about all that has gone into the healthcare and the dental world this last year with the pandemic.
Right.
Really, wow, you had to do a lot. You were there. You're one of our essential workers.
We did. You know what? It was a very challenging time, reflecting back over the last year, even leading up to the pandemic. You guys made the visit. We were, probably putting out record volume at that time, just a lot of people ordering PPE and, I don't want to say in preparation for the pandemic because no one really knew what was coming.
Right.
But we were busy, and then the pandemic hit, and you can only imagine the demand for PPE, whether it's gloves, mask, hand sanitizer. The whole 9 yards. It was a challenging time for the group, that's for sure.
So, how are you meeting those needs? Really, as this unrolled over the last year, the demand on your staff, the demand on your organization to, be a major player in all of what was going on. How did you keep up?
You know what, I reflecting back on that, it was a collaborative approach with our suppliers. Our vendors, working with them, providing targets. As I mentioned before, PPE was a challenge, not only for Henry Schein, but for anybody to get their hands on PPE. But I think just a collaborative approach with our vendor suppliers, our partners, to really just make sure that we had in stock what people needed to get through those times. So, challenging is probably an understatement because it was a challenge on multiple fronts from an inventory management standpoint. As I mentioned before, that collaboration with the buyer and the supplier, And then of course on our end, getting the merchandise in, received, processed, and out to the dentists and doctors and the clinics. So
Well, I can see that you're working from home.
yes.
You're a distribution center. You didn't really have that as a opportunity for most of your workers. So keeping your workers safe in itself was probably a big deal. But as you're, as we're going through the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
are you, the majority of you, working from home who are in the management, or and you just have essential workers there at the plant, or how is that going for you guys? And have you been able to fill those positions of need, and are you still in high demand?
You know what? So kind of take two steps back there. So I'm actually working from home I actually had a family trip that I was out of town. So I'm actually quarantining till my tests come back. So those hopefully will be back this afternoon and tomorrow, and I'll be back in the office. But you hit the nail on the head. We were essential workers from day one. So we weren't there to receive that merchandise, get it processed and out to the doctors. Then it wouldn't be there for their use. But reflecting back on that, some of the challenges. Locally were, you mentioned that safe element, just making sure that our TSMs felt safe coming to work every day. So we've got a pretty intense cleaning protocol that we go through. Obviously, the state of Pennsylvania, we are required to wear masks. We actually had that requirement in place prior to, Governor Wolf issuing that statement. So, that was more just to protect the spread and protect our TSMs there. But, I think back to 2009 or 10 when we had the H1N1 breakout. We did a lot of took a lot of preventative steps. If you look back then, we actually put hand sanitizers in. We put touchless faucets in the restrooms, touchless paper towel dispensers. So a lot of thought and planning had went into that way back during the H1N crisis, and we've kept those practices in place. So when this latest pandemic rolled around, we were pretty well positioned to make sure that our TSMs were safe. And obviously, we actually implemented extra incremental measures on top of that, from deep cleaning the distribution center. That's something that takes place every evening. We actually outsource that through one of our vendor suppliers. But really just keeping reflecting back, once again to last April. My number one job as a director was to provide a safe, healthy work environment for my team. And that's something that we did even leading up to the pandemic, but that's something we took a lot of pride in, to ensure that our folks came to work and they felt safe.
Well, and I just have to say thank you, because, we got PPE for our agency with the children's home. And it's thanks to many people in the community working together, that whole system of logistics and ordering and suppliers, everybody working together. And I really think that the sense of community through all of this has really grown. And I'm sitting there thinking, wow, you probably have seen that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And people probably were knocking on your door to say, hey, do you have anything extra? But you guys have been well versed on being part of the community for a long time with the children's home. And when I started there, you were one of the people. I started actually in September and was in the middle of distributing what you guys do. And I'm going to tell our viewers right now, you guys have done backpacks for the children's home and done a party almost with your staff and our kids who are in the residential program every year for like 10-15 years, haven't
Right.
you?
Yes. Yeah, that's something that's part of our core Henry Schein Cares program. One of the founding principles behind that is basically doing well by doing good. So I kind of, reflecting back as to start this interview, I think our cultures kind of meet there. If you look at that, our cultures are really about just what I said there, doing well by doing good. So we like to give back to the communities that we serve.
Right.
Helping the children's home already is just one component of that, but that's something that takes place across all of our locations across the world. Doing a little research leading up to this interview, the program started, Henry Schein Cares program started in '98, and since the inception of that program, we've helped over 50,000 children basically return to school with, and the whole purpose of that program is to really, make sure you think about kids going to school on day one, just that level of confidence. They've got the backpack, they've got the supplies. So it's just really fulfilling for us and for our Team Schein members, to participate with or to partner with you in this program here. Means the world to us.
Backpacks, people don't think a lot about it, but those school supplies really cost a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at it, it's a minimum of about $100 a backpack. And backpacks keep going up. They don't go down, unfortunately, but, and you guys have given us over 400 at some times, and I think you have even come back a couple other times and given even more when somebody didn't need them. Another shipment would come in, and
right.
We use those backpacks throughout the year for our kids who are in our school, our foster care program, our residential programs, for our Lehigh Valley in-home programs, for our maternal recovery. We gave that to not just the kids in the family who are in our programs, but some of them actually couldn't afford to have backpacks. And we help those families as well. But I think, all I can say is thank you. We are so humbled by what you do, and our kids look forward to it every year, and our families, I know you guys have been doing the t-shirts as well. There's this big activity that happens there on campus, and they do tie-dye, and I think your staff likes it almost as much as our kids, don't they?
Yeah, Joe, I was just going to share that. You mentioned that your kids look forward to that program every year. I can say that that's kind of mutual feeling. We actually have folks volunteer to take the journey over with us to the school to provide the lunch, to hand out the backpacks. And, we take about 10 every year. And I think, just reflecting back on that, we probably have 25 or 30 sign up. I wish we could take them all, but unfortunately we do have work to get home, work to get done back at the distribution center. But I can tell you that the interaction that we have with the children when we're there, I could tell you multiple stories, just a profound impact on our TSMs, and really just as I share that, it's mutual feeling. I think that, going back once again to our core principle of doing well by doing good, that's the heart of our culture. And I think you see that in our TSMs when they visit, and it's just a great feeling.
Yeah, our kids were, last year we weren't able to do it because of COVID, and our kids still, here we are, and they're still not able to have visitors on campus, because of the protocols that we have to follow as well. And, but they're talking about it already. They're thinking, okay, they're going to go back to school. They're getting ready, and they asked if they were going to be doing tie-dye t-shirts the other day when I was walking over there, and they wanted to know if that company was coming again. So that company means Henry Schein, and, doing good in the community. And, we're just one of many organizations who receive your generosity each and every year. How do you choose an organization to support?
You know what, and that's really done. And I've been with the company now for 15 years, so I know I started in 2006. I know the first couple years, June Wolf, who's our HR director, we reached out to several entities in the community, whether it's Lancaster County, Berks County, and I want to say in my first 5 years there, we did, I think we did a home in Hershey. We did several, and then I think it was around 2010 or so, we found the children's home in Reading, and as I mentioned, it felt just like a great culture fit for both of us. I think that I think the impact was immediate. I think as we made the visit and we provided the lunch and handed out the backpacks, I think it was just, I don't want to say a marriage made in heaven, but it just it when you know it, and we felt it, and that was just a great impact on the community, and the rest is history. As you mentioned, it's 10 plus years now. It's just you're just a great organization to partner with.
Oh, well, we so appreciate it. And we, it's companies like yours that help us each and every day. It's those subtle things that people can do to, give back, and at the same time have a tremendous impact on an organization. If we had to purchase backpacks for everybody, and we couldn't do it.
Mhm.
There's just no way. We rely on, it's a value added to our programs, thanks to the generosity of you and some others in the community who help us each and every year to meet those needs. And we just appreciate it more than you can even know. And then to have, the interaction, which doesn't happen really often. You're one of our special companies that we allow that to go on. With our residential kids, they look forward to that, and that sharing, that exchange helps them to see. And I know a couple of times, our kids come back, they're just so rejuvenated, and I'm sure you have some stories to tell as well.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite at all of any of story that you'd want to tell our viewers today?
A favorite, I would say no. Once again, there's just so many there, but we try to take a different group every year, just because the group that comes back is just to your point earlier. I say just beaming with pride. I think they come back and that's if you think about the children's home Reading, unfortunately those kids come from different backgrounds, and some of our TSMs can maybe relate to that in their personal life, and it really, whether it's a friend, a cousin, but I think just to hear those stories as they tell them, and then you get the interest the following year. Hey, I heard that Betty went last year. I want to go this year. I want to get back to those kids. I want to, help those kids. If you feel for those kids, and it's nice, even if it's just for a short snippet of time, to give them the nice pizza lunch and to see their eyes as they open the backpacks. And I know one of the stories, just thinking out loud here, not necessarily from Schein, it was from one of your other partners there, to where socks were donated to the boys. And the story that kind of stood out in my mind was just how excited the boys were to get a brand new pair of socks, something that we take for granted every day. So really just, kind of hits home what we're trying to accomplish there with the backpacks and giving.
That is so true. It's the little things, and things that we do take for granted each and every day. But there's something that we can tell our viewers about Henry Schein, maybe a need that you have from the community, because this is a vehicle for we have viewers who watch on our BCTV show and through Berks Community Television as well. And maybe there's a message that you want to tell everybody.
I'd say our message is, once again, we just love being part of the community. Henry Schein's, we actually have been in the area since '98 now. So, we're going on 23 years now. Just that's probably Denver. Those folks that don't know Denver is kind of a small town, and our distribution is kind of stuck back in the back of Denver there. But we're kind of the heart and soul of that town too. So, a lot of folks, a lot of local individuals are employed through Henry Schein. It's another thing that I take pride in there as well. My message would be just, if you're out there, you're looking for a job, we continually are looking for good people. So, that was one of the challenges. If you go back through the pandemic, probably in late July, early August, we were struggling then to get just to meet the demand. And it's not only Henry Schein. I think you probably saw that in the news. It was really across the nation there, really a labor shortage. And, I think because we have such a great reputation as a good employer in the area, we were able to retain folks, fairly quickly there and ramp up to the demand as kind of the economy was, through that first phase of recovery there. So, just good people. That's my message. If you think about Henry Schein, most folks that hear Henry Schein are like, who's that? And it actually is an individual. Henry and Esther Schein started the organization. It's been over 80 years ago now, basically in the back of a pharmacy in Brooklyn. And it's grown from, a 2-person operation to a 19,000, global organization. And it's really, to this day, the founding principle is our culture. It's all about the people. It's about treating people well, giving them a good, safe place to come to work. And, I'm a lucky man because I get to work with great people every day, great people who take pride in what they do. So, on the surface, my job's pretty simple.
Well, that's wonderful. And, Bill, this has just been a great day today to have a chance to meet you face to face, so to speak, but to be able to shine the light on what you do there and, you know, get to know a little bit about a business, but also about the corporate culture and the social responsibility that you have and how that has been instituted in the community and, you know, with your people. And it does sound like a great place to work. And I'm so glad that you're a partner with us. I really am. And I know that we've talked about possibly working with our evening reporting center boys to come over and to visit when things get released so that they can see what it's like to work in a distribution center from soup to nuts, and giving that kind of an education. It's not just that you give us the backpacks, it's that you enhance everything that we do, you know, in other ways as well. You partner with us, and we just so appreciate that. And I want to say thank you for being, you know, a frontline worker, you know, for your team, because that must have been really demanding on your company. And without you, you know, the hospitals wouldn't run, the dentist's office with all of us grinding our teeth because of the anxiety that we all have. And, you know, they wouldn't be pretty teeth if we,
That's right.
Without what you do. But, you know, I want to say thank you so much, Bill, to you, your team, and the company values that you have. And I think that that just speaks volumes about the kinds of companies that are in our community right here in Pennsylvania.
Nope, absolutely. Jill, that feeling's mutual too. You know, I shared earlier just the, you know, the gratitude our folks have as they return from those backpacks outings every year. So, you know, mutual feeling, that's for sure.
Well, I thank you so much. And Bill, is there anything else that you'd like to say to our viewers while we have you captivated here, you know, locked up, waiting for your COVID test?
No, nope, I'm good. Just, you know, hopefully this thing is over soon and everybody stays safe and healthy.